So after messing around and gaining experience with this program for a decent amount of time, a few weeks, maybe even 2 or 3 months, I feel confident enough to at least make a basic tutorial, and then I can make more advanced tutorials later on. This is going to be just an overview of OBS Multi-Platform and how I use it. Again, I will make specialized tutorials, very specific things, but for now, this is just a general overview of how I use it and what I think of it so far. So I had been a user of the original OBS, Open Broadcast Software, since, I don't know, a few years maybe even. I'm trying to remember when, since Twitch really gained a bunch of popularity, this thing had been picking up as well. I recall using XSplit before this program, and XSplit was expensive and clunky and nowhere near as pretty as well. I do not have any experience with XSplit now, though the few years ago that I did use it, I did not enjoy using it at all. So without further ado, here's OBS Multi-Platform. I'm going to go over my settings and give you brief explanations of all of them. First off, the biggest thing is this right here. My audio. Ooh, I messed with that on the fly. I don't want to do that. All of this is my audio. So if we go to here, I have channel 1, 2, 3, and 4. For this, I have 3 different audio sources. Desktop audio, which is my first audio channel. This is my speakers. Okay. Then I have 2, which is another set of speakers, and then I have my third, which is mic. Now, 1 means it's going to be mixed in with everything. So if I'm streaming, it only displays 1. So since all these are going to 1, you'll hear it. Now, 2 is an individual track. That's something I can edit later. 3 and 4, likewise. So with that, I have everything goes to the first channel, and then 2, 3, and 4 are just one thing. So they're all separated. That means I can edit it in post. So now I'm just going to go to my settings. Hopefully there isn't any sensitive information I need to cover. I don't think so. I don't have my stream key. So yeah, no. It should totally be fine. General, pick your language, pick your theme, whatever, dude. It's fine. Dark actually doesn't look bad. I do kind of like dark. I am going to go to default, though. It is a lot easier to read. Stream, blah, 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 whatever. Don't care. I'm not going to show off my stream stuff. Output. Here's the big thing, okay? Streaming. Put the bitrate on whatever, higher or lower. This is a good thing for me, for quality. You want to get a mix between quality and rate, because if your rate's too high, a lot of people won't be able to watch it unless you are a streaming professional and you're able to give people the custom streaming numbers. So for me, 2250 is a good mix. By all means, experiment with it. See if you want it higher or lower. That makes it look okay when I'm streaming, but not super crazy to where a lot of people can't see it. But also, it is probably a little higher than some people can comfortably watch it if they have bad internet. So there is that trade-off. That is unfortunate. This right here, very fast. It just means it has a guide next to it. Higher equals lower CPU usage. I just keep it a very fast. Key intervals. This has to do with streaming. Different software, different websites require different keyframe intervals. You're going to need to look up that on your own. I believe YouTube uses 4, or maybe it uses 2. Twitch definitely uses 2. So I totally leave it at that. Recording. Big thing, okay? I record as MP4. This is not set as standard. I have the advanced stuff going right here. As you can see, advanced right here. The standard type just means, are you exporting as video, which is standard, or straight audio? I have it as video, obviously. So that's standard. MP4, and then audio tracks. This allows me to have the multiple audio tracks exported. The rescale resolution, my monitor is 1080, but I'm outputting to 720p video. Keep this, or don't check it at all. If you want it to be normal, you can make it lower or higher depending on whatever. I'd leave the encoder. That's just what it uses for MP4 is X264, okay? Now the audio tracks, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, this is streaming. This is everything mixed into one. This is just speaker, just mic. That's all there is to that. This right here, CRF, is quality versus file size. Find a good mix. 20 is like your lower quality, 10 is like crazy awesome, 15's pretty dang good. Like there becomes a point where there's just no point in you lowering it except more file space. because YouTube compresses things. So if you're doing just local content, or if you're doing it on a website that isn't YouTube, maybe look into something different, but I wouldn't worry about that. Bitrate does not matter because we're using the custom buffer size, and because we're using CRF, bitrate really is not affected. So I wouldn't worry about that. Just CRF is what you want to change. Very fast. You can mess with this up and down, but again, CRF's probably all you need to change on here. This will use more or less CPU, more or less of your computer. If you make it higher or lower, again, 20 being bad. Ideally, 20 is the worst, and 10 is the best, but I have it on 15, and that's pretty much the best that I want it to. That's totally acceptable with me. It's not bad at all, okay? So, like, 10 is like, you just would have to see it. It's not an even scale. I'd say like 17 is probably fine for some people as well. I'd say 20 works for some games. Super fast-paced stuff, not going to look that great. It's going to look a little chunky, blocky, grainy, blurry, something like that. It's not going to be amazing. 15 is really good. So you can probably do 15. Again, mess with it depending on your games. Audio, I have all this at 320. This right here is streaming, so I don't need it to be 320. I don't think I'd really take a big performance hit or anything if I had it at 320 though, so feel free to do 320. I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel because I don't want to save those since I accidentally messed with things. Sample rate, you have 14.1 or 48. I just go with 48, not a big deal to not do that. This, obviously, pick your audio devices. As you can see, I said I have speakers, I have my second speakers, and then I have a microphone. This is for Skype or music if I want to edit that out later. Incredibly useful. That's how to have multiple audio channels without virtual audio cable, which I think I've actually done a video on that before. If so, I'll link it, and I may do an updated version of that as well. So I have all that. If you want to do push to talk or whatever, feel free to do that. If not, it's fine. Okay, this right here, renderer, I would do Direct 3D 11. That's just direct, that's DX11, okay? They do also have OpenGL. You can do that. Again, I downscale everything to 720p from 1080. You do not have to do that. And then this is the FPS, 30. Keep that, don't have it, whatever. Here's my hotkeys. I only have it for recording. I don't use this program to stream. Feel free to look up streaming settings if you want. All of this is mostly, I use this for local recording and for mixing stuff, okay? That's really about it. And then we have the advanced settings. No stream delay, automatic reconnect. This is all default. You can totally leave that fine. There's no huge drastic change for doing any of that. And that's pretty much the overview on my settings. I've shown off the audio, I've shown off the video stuff, the scenes. Scenes aren't complicated. You just click on it and then you add a scene, and then I hit display. And then it says, hey, do you want to display? And then it shows everything. And you know what? That's pretty much it. So yeah, that's my overview and just me showing off everything that I use OBS Multi-Platform for. If you have any questions, any desires to see any tutorials, feel free to leave those in the comments below. Also, feel free to browse the channel, lots of more tutorials or just gameplay videos, as I use this for gameplay videos. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for